Otto Addo was clear in his mind.
Yes.
When he used the conditional clause, if. He said, if they need Dede Ayew, they'll call him. And again, Otto Addo was clear in his mind that, look, at this particular point in time, he has other players who he's looking at ahead of Dede Ayew. Nobody can fault Coach Otto Addo for making such comments. Every coach would look at his team, will look at his needs, will look at the style of play, and will look at the energy available and see how best he can shuffle his pack to get results. So Otto Addo would not be wrong if he says he prefers player A to player B.
Okay.
Or he thinks that player B will do a better job than player C, and so he would stick to player B. There's absolutely nothing wrong with what Otto said. Now let me get into the response from the spokesperson of Andre Ayew or the Ayew family. You see, Nathan, it's very hard for any Ghanaian to speak about the Ayew family in a certain light. It's very hard. To criticize the Ayew family or to say things that would seemingly disrespect the Ayew family, it's always something very difficult to do. Okay? Because of their contribution to Ghana football. You don't want to see them in a certain light. You always want to give them all the respect in this world. You always want to give them all the respect they deserve. You always want to give them that legendary status. Okay? Because of their contribution to Ghana football. Okay. You cannot write the history of Ghana football without their use. But Mr. Fifitaki, I don't know why he wrote what he wrote. I don't know if indeed he was asked by the Ayew family to write what he wrote. But before I get into what he wrote, Fifitaki, don't start a fight in an empty room. Fifitaki, don't start a fight in an empty room. Hey. Now let me get into the comments of Fifitaki. Quote, Coach Otto Addo's comments, and this is what he wrote on Facebook. Coach Otto Addo's comments on Andre Ayew are shocking and disappointing. On numerous occasions, the same coach has said one of the key criteria for selection into national team is active club participation. How can Ayew, Ghana's most capped player, a 3-time World Cup veteran, and a proven leader, be deemed unworthy, even when playing well at his club in the French league? Ayew's legacy and commitment to the Black Stars are undeniable. His experience, leadership, and track record in major tournaments speak volumes. It is baffling that a coach who failed to qualify Ghana for this year's Africa Cup of Nations would so casually dismiss the contributions of a player who has consistently delivered for his country and is playing week in, week out at his club side. Such remarks are not only disrespectful to Ayew, but also undermine his sacrifices and the pride he has brought to Ghana football. Coach Otto Addo's comments are unprofessional and unbecoming of someone in his position. This is what the spokesperson for the Ayew family wrote. Nathan, first of all, it is true that indeed Dede Ayew is our most capped player.
Yeah.
It is true that indeed he has played at 3 World Cups and has played at 8 AFCONs. It is true that Dede Ayew is playing week in, week out for his club side, Le Havre, who are in the relegation zone. It is true. It is again true that Dede Ayew, based on his form this season, has scored 4 goals in 19 games. It is true. It is again true that his leadership and experience and track record at major tournaments is not in doubt. It is true. But Fifitaki must understand that there's time and season for everything. Today at 35, if Dede Ayew is not the first pick on the list of the coach for a national team, there should be a reason behind it. Otto Addo may not or does not owe anybody any explanation as to why he has chosen not to call Dede Ayew. Because whoever he picks into that 23-man squad of the Black Stars, he would believe is capable of delivering for him.
Okay.
So nobody at this point can force Otto Addo to call Dede Ayew, regardless of whether he's playing active football week in, week out or not. It is not a given. There are several players in Europe playing week in, week out. And there are some playing in Malaysia. Our good friend, Jordan Minta. Is it Malaysia?
Yes.
No.
Hong Kong.
Yes. There are players playing elsewhere, week in, week out, scoring goals, but the coach doesn't need them and hasn't called them. What is wrong with Otto Addo saying that he's looking at other players ahead of Dede Ayew? How disrespectful is that comment? How disrespectful is Otto Addo's comment? That the Ayew spokesman for the Ayew family would want to tear up Otto Addo in this manner. You see, even the timing of this message is wrong. If the Black Stars were on a downward spiral, like we saw them during the AFCON qualifiers, maybe Ghanaians would have even been clamoring for the return of Andre Ayew.
Yeah, I remember when the qualifiers were not going well.
Absolutely.
At a point, some people started saying
but you do not come up with this when the team has just won 2 games back to back in the World Cup qualifiers, thereby putting them in pole position to qualify for the World Cup. You do not bring this up. And I think that Fifi Taki must know that his comments are disrespectful to Otto Addo. He has disrespected Coach Otto Addo with his comments. And I think that he should show the coach of the Black Stars some respect. Whether he qualified for AFCON or not, he's still the man at the helm. Dede Ayew's brother is the captain of the side. Given all the respect that he deserves, by this same coach is trying to criticize. Unfairly, let me put it that way. The brother of Andre Ayew works directly with Coach Otto Addo. If not for anything at all.
This is captain.
This is captain. If not for anything at all. You respect the relationship between the coach and his captain and manage what you say against the coach. Nathan, tell me what was wrong with what Otto Addo said about Dede Ayew. What was so disrespectful about it? You see, Fifi Taki, don't let us destroy our legends. Don't let Ghanaians disrespect Dede Ayew. He deserves a lot of respect from the good people of Ghana. Don't put him in a light. Don't throw him under the bus. Don't throw him to the wolves. Don't do that. And that's why I'm telling Fifi Taki this morning. Look, don't start a fight in an empty room. This comment is unwarranted. These stones you are throwing at Coach Otto Addo, very, very unwarranted. Don't do it. Don't do it. Nathan, if he's listening this morning, if he's spokesperson, he should be measured with some of the things he says, especially knowing very well that the team has games to play and the team still has an Ayew in there. Please, don't do that. The team is enjoying back-to-back wins peacefully. There's unity in camp. There are no issues of captaincy or there are no issues of drama in camp. Please, let's maintain that. And if he's listening to me this morning, he should pull down this post and apologize to Otto Addo. Fifi Taki cannot force Otto Addo to invite Dede Ayew to the national team. If the coach, like he said, if he feels he needs Dede Ayew, he invites him at the right time. It's as simple as that. But Fifi Taki should not present himself as a scout, watching performance of Dede Ayew and also watching the number of games he's playing to say that, oh, Coach Otto Addo said he's going to base his selection criteria on consistency for your club side. So Dede must be called up. It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. It's Fifi telling me that at this age, Dede Ayew has the form of a Luka Modric or Cristiano Ronaldo to consistently dominate call-outs for national teams. Is that what Fifi is telling us? At this point, is Dede Ayew dominating the headlines like Luka Modric and Cristiano Ronaldo? His team, for God's sake, they are struggling to get out of relegation zone. The focus of Dede Ayew should be concentrating on his club side football and helping his team maintain their League One status. That should be the preoccupation of Dede Ayew. When the Black Stars are doing well, let the Black Stars do well with the current setup the coach believes in. It's as simple as that. I sat on this show one day and I told you, Nathan, Dede Ayew must be called back.
Yeah, I remember.
But if the coach feels he doesn't need him, so be it. Respect Coach Otto Addo's decisions. Fifi Taki, please, don't start a fight in an empty room. I'm done.
This is SportyFM, the voice of sport.